I'm Tom Tincher of the Plans and General Purposes Committee, and we're bringing you another fun-filled program called R&R on Scranton, except we're on center because we think that the rest and relaxation portion of R&R on Scranton has got to include bicycle riding. Many people find it restful and relaxing, and we're out in front of Activator Cycles, the newest shop in Lake Bluff. I want you to meet Nick Christopoulos, the owner, and hear why he came to Lake Bluff and what his background is. So would you come with me inside to meet Nick, please? Nick, hi, Tom Tincher, just talked about you outside. I'd like everybody to meet Nick Christopoulos, who's the owner of Activator Cycles. And Nick, how did Activator Cycles get to Lake Bluff?
Well, we've always wanted to have businesses here in Lake Bluff. And we have a music school also in Lake Forest.
A music school?
A music school.
Who's we?
My wife and I, Sheila.
And how did the music school start?
The music school started over a decade ago, and just teaching lessons, music lessons.
You were teaching?
Pardon?
You?
Yeah, yep. Sheila.
What's your instrument?
I mainly played drums at the time,
Uh-huh.
and drums and a bit of guitar, and that's basically what I ended up teaching.
And so she's out there, what, Sheila?
Sheila.
Sheila's running the show out there in Lake Forest all by herself?
Pretty much, I would say that.
And you broke off to come here, but why
Right.
bicycles? What kept you involved with bicycles?
I guess I was infected with the god of bicycles.
When did that start?
Actually, it started a long time ago when I was a kid, just like any other kid, just riding Stingrays around.
And you went to Lake Forest High School?
Lake Forest High School.
Were you doing it then?
I was racing motocross at that time. I was racing motocross bikes and racing like at that time probably 100s, 125s, and 250cc motorcycles, and it's kind of a cross-country racing.
In high school?
In high school, right.
Were you sponsored?
Just more or less from some local shops when you get like maybe 30% off of cost, or not cost, but maybe retail.
Yeah.
And just really good support from the local shops there. I had a friend who actually raced for Team Yamaha at the time, and he would give me a lot of stuff that he got, so that was kind of another sponsor.
So why did you transition into bikes, or was that part of being a drummer?
Actually, I took quite a bit of time off from riding bicycles and motorcycles, and really got immersed in teaching music and playing playing shows and writing original music. So I did it for quite a while. I took a break from doing bikes, and then when I moved back here, I actually lived in Atlanta, but when I moved back here, I started getting into biking. There was a lot more bike paths around than where I lived previously, and so I just got back into rise more, and I met a really good friend who is actually a mechanic here now. And he got me into mountain biking, and so I kind of just stuck with that.
Mountain biking in the Plains states, how does that work?
We have to go to Wisconsin.
All the way up to the hills. Huh?
All the way up to the hills when you live in Illinois.
And hill climbs and things like that?
Yeah, it's a cross-country course, what mountain biking is, and it's really fun because it's an all-ages thing. They have different classes from young kids to guys that are 70 years old. And it's this cross-country, up and down hills, going over logs, different obstacles, downhills, rocky downhills.
Isn't that tough on the rims and the teeth?
It is, but it's a great endurance sport, and I've always really enjoyed endurance sports.
Two things I'd be interested in, maybe you can tell our viewers, what you have here in the shop that ties into that, or maybe just recreational riding.
Okay.
And how about repairs and restoration on bikes that perhaps need a little help after they've been out on the road?
Sure.
Let's walk around a little.
Sure.
Well, here's something right here. Nick, what's going on here?
This is a cyclocross bike, and it's called Jake the Snake, and it's made by Kona, and it's a very fine piece of machinery. Cyclocross is becoming Cyclocross is becoming more and more popular. It's a cross between mountain biking and road bike riding. So
it seems to have a very small saddle and a big crank.
Yeah, cyclocross is like cross-country racing, and except it's usually set up like in a park, and the courses are shorter, and they actually put like hurdles and staircases on the courses.
So you're not sitting on the saddle much.
And you're not sitting much, and it's lightweight, so you can throw it over your shoulder and run up some stairs or run over some obstacles, jump back on, and pedal away. But the sport's becoming huge now, and cyclocross is a great way to go for, even if you're not even racing, just riding the river trails around here is a really neat thing to do on a cyclocross bike.
So this is for the rough and ready guys, but what would I use to ride around town in Lake Bluff?
Sure, you could do this around town, Lake Bluff. All you need is your water bottle cages and your normal gear that you would ride in anyways. People use these all the time on the river trail here because of all the gravel.
Oh yeah.
And Des Plaines River Trail, and it's a great way to get the best of both worlds from a mountain bike or a road bike. It's just really simple to ride on, and especially for gravel.
And what would a smaller person ride? And I'm thinking maybe an 8 to 12-year-old.
We have a selection of smaller bikes if you want to take a look at those.
Yeah, let's take a look at them if you...
Sure.
Is this one you're talking about?
Yeah, this is a Kona right here. This is called the Hula. It's 24-inch wheels, and this is made for kids just that want to ride around town or ride the bike path or the river trail, the limestone gravel.
What happened when I was biking? We had baskets and panniers and things like that to carry books and groceries for Mom if we went over to the village market to get some milk or something.
Sure.
What would you put on this?
Well, on this particular bike, you probably could put a basket, but there's also another type of bike for doing that.
That's something I like very much.
Yeah, bells.
So
to let
little.
you know that you're passing.
Congratulations to you, Nick, for having these things on as standard equipment. I think that's great for the just bikes.
Right. Bells and helmets are really important.
And fenders.
And fenders. And this is the bike you can put a rack on and bags on the back or a basket. This is one of those type of bikes that you can do. It's a commuter. It's a 3-speed commuter. It's a real great bike just to get around town, or you can go on a long trek if you want. It's a really nice bike, and it's really affordable.
Would it be comfortable to ride this, let's say, up to Door County?
You mean
on the
ride at Door County?
No, to Door County.
Oh, to Door
In
County.
and around. And
it would be a little more effort. You would probably get something more road-friendly, more touring, and I can show you that also on another bike.
Okay, let's see one. Okay, let's go on outside. Nick, you've got something out here for us to take a look at.
This bike here would probably be a great commuter. Let me see if I don't smash my free air sign. This is the Honky Tonk, made by Kona, and this is a great affordable bike also. But you could use this to ride a Door County with.
But those are skinny tires. I would be concerned about going over the gravel on some of the side roads with that. But
yeah, this wouldn't be a good
not on gravel
trail. This is a good road bike to get to Door County.
Yeah, yeah.
And but the cyclocross bike would be a good bike for when you got there, or a mountain bike to ride the gravel. But to get there, a nice road bike.
So it's a touring bike.
A touring bike,
yeah.
Right. So there are other touring bikes that Kona makes, and other brands that we sell are Salsa and Surly, and they're set up. Some of them are set up more for long distance riding, like over 100 miles, and comes with bags and all that kind of thing.
Who are the people that come through and go over to Bluffington's every Thursday?
That's Evanston Bike Club.
Is that the group?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty good sized group of people.
It is. We did we sponsored the mechanics station for one of their big rides. It's the North Shore Century, and we, Nate and I, went out there with our RV and set up a big mechanics station, and there's a couple thousand riders there, and we did all the repairs for when they came by. Biking, parking.
Repairs
grading.
is a big part of your business?
Big time, yeah.
Let's meet your repairman.
Yeah, Nate is.
Okay.
Nate the Great.
Let's go. Oh, Nate the Great. Hold on a minute. Nick was talking about some off-road bikes, and so before we go in, and while we're still outside, Nick would like to show you something that he was talking about. Nick, what do we have here?
This is a Salsa. We sell Salsa bikes also. And this is my mountain bike, race bike.
Yours?
This is mine, yeah. And it's pretty dirty right now, but it's a mountain bike, right?
But it's a winner.
Pardon?
It's a winner.
It's a winner. It's a great bike. This one is scandium aluminum. It's got a nice Manitowoc front suspension fork, And I set it up as a 1x9. There's only one sprocket in front and 9
What's
gears in back.
Oh, the gears are back here. Oh.
Yeah, a lot of times guys will have either 2 up here or 3 chain rings. And it's a nice light bike.
This is your chain guard?
Yeah, keep the chain on the sprocket.
Tell us about this.
These are egg beater pedals, and these are great for riding cross country or cyclocross. They have 4 sides you can clip into, so it's really easy to clip into when you're riding.
You have a cam on your shoe bottom that fits into there?
Right, and so you kind of get locked in. It also it sheds mud really easy too. It doesn't get all clogged up like some of the older pedals.
Nick, what's this red dial here that's on this? Is this a shock absorber?
This here is a
Oh.
you can turn this on right here, and it locks the fork out so it doesn't compress all the way. So it's called a lockout, and you push this button to turn the fork on. So you do have suspension. A lot of times you'll use that if so you have a big steep uphill you're about to climb. You can lock out the fork, and you won't have the fork compressing as you're trying to push on the pedals. So you'll have more momentum.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't lose the power.
Right.
Now let's go in and see how these are repaired.
Sure.
Nate is working on a bike, and Nick is going to tell us about what Nate is doing, so I'm going to jump out of the way.
All right. Right now, Nate's prepping the bike. We just got it out of the box from Kona, and so we're going to get it fixed up and get it ready to sell. And right now he's taping the bars, and Nate is going to tell us a little bit about taping bars, maybe.
Well, at first, why is he doing it? I thought that was an affectation that some kid did because he thought it was the right thing to do. But Nate seems to know the more technical side of it.
Right.
Yeah, these, when you pull them out of the box, there's some stuff you have to do to them to really make them race ready and make them right. So we do that first thing.
What is this that you're putting on here, Nate?
That's a synthetic cork handlebar tape.
Was it originally cork? Is that what the idea is?
Originally it was cork, yeah. Yeah, they've switched to
And what does it do?
Synthetic. It helps you just hang onto the bike, basically. It gives you a little grip on the bars.
It looked like you put electrician's tape on first there, Nick. And
yeah, just to hold the shifter and the brake wires down to the handlebar before you put the outer grip tape on it.
now I think I saw you testing the brakes earlier. Was that what you were, or were you doing the gears? You were making noises over here.
Yeah, I was true the wheels first, make sure the rims are straight, make sure they go through the brake pads properly, and I was adjusting the gears as well.
Now, if my bike doesn't work and I can't get it to stop, can I bring it in and have it adjusted for you, or by you?
Absolutely. We'll work on any kind of bike.
And how about if the rim gets out of true? How do you fix that?
We fix those with we have a truing stand really with a guide to to show us how it's out of alignment, and little wrenches to straighten out the rims.
And what is that? What these little bolts
exactly
are?
What those are. Yep, those are they call those the spoke nipples.
And it looks like you have fewer on this bike anyway, fewer spokes than I remember.
Yeah,
from the old days.
Yep, you're correct. Yeah, they've gone to a little lower spoke counts on the wheels, but they've increased the strength of the rims.
Ah, where do you get your information on bike mechanics?
From Nate.
Basically, just on-the-job training. I started out working at another shop where the owner had been a bike rider and a mechanic for more than 40 years probably when I started working there. So a lot of the knowledge is kind of passed down from one mechanic to the next.
Well, I'd like to thank Nate and Nick for letting us come in, and Nick particularly for taking us out and taking a look at the inventory that he has here at Activator Cycles. So before we end up, there's always the ritual. I want to ask Nate and Nick if they'll tell you how you can get here if you live outside of Lake Bluff and are watching this today. Nick, what's the address? What's the phone number? What's the website?
We are at 36 East Center Avenue in Lake Bluff, and we're right across the street from the big gazebo downtown. Our phone number, hang on a second, is brand new, so I'm going to try to remember it here. It's 847-863-7366.
And the website?
Our website is activatorcycles.com, www.
So pedal on over and meet Nick and Nate, and thank you for watching, and keep your eye on the agendas that we publish online, and you'll see more R&R on Scranton. Thanks for watching. Well, here we are again on the R&R on Scranton. Thanks for watching in, but as you can see, we're already inside a building. It's cozy in here. R&R on Scranton intended to go for retail and restaurants, but rest and relaxation is what we have here, because we're at the paddle tennis courts on the Lake Bluff Park District property, and I have two paddle tennis pros with me. Martha Peterson, I'd like to introduce you. Would you
Tom, thanks so much for coming.
And introduce your friend here, David.
I would. This is actually our head pro, David Bukowski.
Thanks for having me.
David,
Pleasure to meet
a paddle grip.
Yeah.
What is paddle tennis, and how did it come to Lake Bluff? Who's going to answer?
How about I'll start with that little history. These courts have been here actually for 3 years.
These.
We have 3 courts, and they actually came from the old Bath and Tennis Club that was down on Green Bay Road. The paddle hut itself has been here for 2 years, and this is our 3rd year of having teams play here.
This is the hut, you call this?
This is the paddle hut.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous?
And how many people belong to this organization?
Well, this year we have 111 actual bona fide members that are rostered to play on teams or just play socially on the weekend. And we have quite a few non-members that sign up and take programs to kind of get their feet wet and then hopefully commit to being a rostered player on a team next
And
year.
David, how do you fit in now? Are you the coach here?
I am. I'm the head pro here of paddle and also tennis, and I run the social programming and also with the teams. We have men's programming, women's programming, and also after-school junior programming at the time. We have teams at all levels, so all levels are welcome, and things have been very popular here. All the social programming and the team, things are going very well.
How do you keep the courts so dry?
Well, this sport is also called paddle or platform tennis. Platform tennis, because literally the courts are on a platform, heated from underneath to melt the snow and the rain to keep the courts dry. And if you ever spend some time on the court, you notice that the surface is almost like sandpaper, so it just keeps the traction. So even in wet conditions, you can still play the sport.
And who is playing out there now? Is this a team, Martha?
All of these girls are actually practicing today. We have girls from 2 of our teams.
You boys and girls?
We have boys and girls. Actually, we call it men and ladies. Men, ladies, and juniors.
Gentlemen and ladies, then.
Yeah, we should say gentlemen because, of course,
Okay,
they are.
but this is who you have out here today.
This is who's out here today playing, and then when David is finished talking with us, he's going to go out and do a little drill with them.
Do you do regular training programs, David? Are there lessons that people can take who don't know the intricacies of platform tennis?
Sure, we have, like I mentioned, we have programs for all different levels. We have beginners and advanced beginning drills just to get everybody acquainted with how the sport works and kind of find out what, especially maybe somebody who has some racket sport experience, whether it's racquetball, whether it's squash or tennis, to come over and find out what platform tennis is about. And the best way I describe platform tennis to somebody that doesn't know, it's a combination of tennis and racquetball. Tennis because it looks like a tennis court, but it's only about a quarter of the size. And racquetball because the screens, the ball can actually hit into the court and hit into a screen, in which you would have to kind of figure out the angles. It will keep the ball in play like a racquetball court. Therefore, you need to know the angles.
Now, is a paddle tennis ball the same as a tennis ball?
It's not. Tennis ball is hollow, where a paddle ball is solid core. So in the cold, you still get the solid bounce.
But you play in the summer.
Paddle in the summer. Paddle is mostly played in the colder colder temperatures, whether it's fall or winter.
I mean, like today when it's 20 below,
Even
Which
when
is
it's
why we
20
didn't
below, you can keep warm. You bet.
while we're inside by the fire.
Cold
That's
weather
right.
doesn't stop a paddle player.
That's
You
right.
just put a couple more layers on, you're good to go.
When did the kids come over? Is that weekends or evenings?
We have after-school junior programming on Tuesday afternoons, anywhere from 3rd grade to 8th grade, and we also have some Thursday programming with junior paddle and pizza, and also junior matches with the local area clubs.
Paddle and
it's a
pizza, you
travel-
could serve it right. I noticed now your logo shows holes in the paddle,
Sure.
but I've seen pictures of paddles that are solid. Is there any reason for the difference?
Well, the holes in the paddles are to make the paddles aerodynamic, so you can swing through the air more freely.
Yeah, less resistance.
Yes, and there's also, just like it is on the surface of the paddle courts, there's a grit on the paddle, on the actual paddles. So that way, when it gets icy or when it gets kind of wet conditions, the paddle can still grip the ball in order to create spin.
Table tennis paddles are like that, aren't they?
Sure.
Martha
Exactly.
knows.
Yes, they are. Yes, I know table tennis.
In paddle, you only do get one serve, but same rules apply where the ball, the point is over when the ball bounces twice. Very similar to tennis. The scoring, it's a smaller court, and it's mostly played in doubles. You do see it in singles, but mostly played in doubles. So it's a very small court, makes it for a very social game, whether it's on the court or off the court.
But it seemed like a very competitive group. Do you have leagues? Are there organizations? Well, how does that work here?
Yes, there are both men's and women's leagues, and also the junior leagues also.
How are you involved with the Park District? Are they an overriding group that helps you organize and
Oh, this is actually run by the Park District. It's a Park District entity, the same way the golf course is, and the pool, and the rec center.
one more amenity?
Absolutely.
That's right.
And yeah, so it's all good. We're looking for anybody new to come over. One benefit that's nice for Lake Forest is for paddle, Lake Forest residents are considered residents, like Lake Bluffers. And
Get the resident rates.
yeah, exactly.
So there's no geographic boundary, no 6004445 or something
No,
like that?
those are considered residents.
So how did you get started in tennis and particularly with paddle?
When I moved over to the North Shore, I learned about the platform tennis when I was working for North Shore Country Club during my summers when I was at Valparaiso University, where I played Division I tennis. And after that, after I finished my college years, I decided that I wanted to do tennis and paddle year-round, where my next step was over to Exmoor Country Club in Highland Park. So I've been doing paddle for about 3 years, and I made my way over to the Lake Bluff Park District in early September.
In September of this year.
And Martha, what's your background in paddle tennis?
Oh, my background in paddle tennis is
Fierce
just
competitor.
Yes, I've played for many, many years and just love the game and love promoting it, and it's been nothing but fun to be enthusiastic about the program here and watch it grow.
And David is the pro, but you're the gardener that's making
I'm
it
his
grow?
loyal assistant and just to help with the social events and talking it up, and also am what's called the club coordinator. So I sort of organize the ladies' teams.
You're the
and
go-to person?
I'm the liaison with the league. And
Now, do you have a counterpart on the gentleman's side?
I don't know. I think it's actually David.
David does that. Yeah. And the kids too?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are there kids teams?
There are. We have we do have a junior team where we send out a weekly email to find out who's available to play, and whether it's a home or an away match, just like the men's league or the ladies league works, it is a travel league also.
You have a regional competitive group that you go and, well, you have a traveling team.
It is a traveling team, and
Oh.
also very popular this year have been the junior national tournaments.
Where are they held?
All over. There's a tournament in Hinsdale, there's a tournament in Lake Forest Club. They're all over the place, and there are national tournaments. So
Do you have tournaments here?
I'm going to say yes and no.
Okay, let's say yes.
Yeah, okay, well, let's say yes, and we'd love to. We're limited in a little bit just because we have 3 courts. In order to have some of the bigger tournaments here, you need to have 4 courts. So that's our goal, get
Yeah.
this program going, and eventually get a 4th court so we could host some tournaments.
Now we're back to training and teaching, and let's go and see you train a group of people, or put your teacher's hat on, and let's see what happens next.
You got it.
Okay,
Sounds like a plan.
outside. We'll stay inside. Though.
Yeah.
David, I see your hours. Wait, what you have a bear's mitt? What's that?
This is a paddle mitt. So there's two ways to really kind of keep your hands warm. It's either gloves or this paddle mitt. It's really nice because you put your hand in and then you slide the paddle handle right in there. And that way you can keep your hand on the handle but still keeping it very warm.
So this is the mitt.
The mitt. You got it.
You guys are wimps after all, aren't you? Okay, well, let's see what you're going to do.
You got it. Let's go to the paddle courts. We are now here at the Lake Bluff Park District paddle courts inside the cage, where we're going to do a little bit of a playing just to give you an example of how the game is played. Just to give you a quick idea, the court again is about a quarter the size of a tennis court, with the net being almost as high, 2 inches shorter. So what you have is when the screens are surrounding the court, which makes it for a game that's about finesse and touch and not about power. And we're going to go over how a typical point is being played, where normally you have 2 players back at the baseline, 2 players up at the net. And we're going to go into doing a point right now. And I'm going to start off by hitting the ball inside the court and hitting into a screen, just to show you how this game can go on for as many as 200 hits in as long as 5-minute points. Here we go. Yours. We're going to start with the ball going into the screen, popping out just like that. Yours. 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 And we never miss in the net. Yours. Yours. So as you can see, if you hit the ball too hard, that ball actually shoots out and makes it easier for opponent having more time by hitting the ball softer. That ball actually dies closer to the screens and therefore making it tougher for your opponent to dig it out. By hitting the ball too hard, makes it a lot easier for your opponent, gives them a lot more time. Comparing paddle to tennis, if you hit the ball hard in tennis away from your opponents, the point is normally over, whereas in paddle, by using the screens, that ball tends to stay in play longer, therefore making for much longer points and allowing us to stay warm in such a cold day with temperatures in the teens or even in the single digits.
Well, here we are back in front of the fireplace, and I think Martha and David have a couple of parting words for us. So if we wanted to get in touch with you, if our viewers are interested in following up on what you've been telling them, David, how do they get in touch with you?
You can email either Martha or myself. My email is dbukowski@lakebluffparkdistrict.org. D as in David, Bukowski, B-U-K-O-W-S-K-I, at lakebluffparkdistrict.org, all spelled out. You can also get in touch with us by via phone, 847-234-4150, extension 39. And you can also reach us online at www.lakebluffparks.org.
And I'm going to ask Martha this one because I think she's ready to tell us where we actually are. How could you drive here?
You could drive here. We're actually on the Park District property where the golf course is located, the pool, the rec center. I believe the address is 355 West Washington. And we're in the paddle hut, which you can't miss when you pull in the parking lot.
Plenty of parking around the
Plenty
paddle
of
hut?
parking.
And you're open?
We're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week from
9
9 to about 10.
Well, good.
Yeah.
There you are then. We're at the paddle tennis court in Lake Bluff, and I want to thank you very much for coming in and tuning to 19 and watching this program, and I hope you keep tuned to 19 for future programs. So thank you very much.